Hello, this is Ian McKellen, and you're watching my favourite segment, J.W. Braun's Bookshelf, which you should all subscribe to and tweet and like.
JW?
What's that?
There's a problem.
What?
You don't sound anything like Ian McKellen.
Nice. Why? I'll do Peter Jackson. How about that? Hello, I'm Peter Jackson, and you're watching
No, that won't work either. It's the same voice.
Well, it won't work with that attitude. Hey, One Ringers! Welcome back to the bookshelf. I'm J.W. Braun, the author of the book The Lord of the Films, and today I'm here to review a book by Daniel Grata, which is called J.R.R. Tolkien, Architect of Middle-earth. And it was actually the first biography of Tolkien, and it was published in 1976 by Running Press. The version I have here is about 200 pages and doesn't have any photos or illustrations. And Tolkien, as you might know, lived a fascinating life, and Grata does a nice job of dividing the life into chapters such as the soldier, the scholar, the professor, and the author. Unfortunately, Grata faced an uphill battle while writing the book, as far as the Tolkien estate was firmly against its publication and refused to cooperate in any way. The estate even requested that Tolkien's friends and family refuse to cooperate as well, and as a result, the book seems to have a grudge against the estate, and worse yet, due to a lack of sources, Grata often doesn't have facts and simply engages in speculation. Occasionally, these surmises are laughable. For example, because Tolkien failed to complete the Silmarillion, Grata assumes that the professor was lazy and disorganized. Never mind that Tolkien somehow became an Oxford Don, raised a family, and wrote one of the most detail-oriented books in history. The definitive Tolkien biography is the aptly named Tolkien, a biography by Humphrey Carpenter, because Carpenter had the benefit of the full cooperation of the Tolkien estate, and that gave him full access to Tolkien's private papers and letters. But even with Carpenter's masterpiece now available, you'd think there would still be room for a cheaper paperback biography that covers Tolkien's life less meticulously, and perhaps is more accessible to the casual Hobbit fan. Sadly, Grata's book poorly fills this niche. In addition to its petty grudge and guesswork, Architect of Middle-earth is poorly edited, or was at least edited by someone with little knowledge of Tolkien's works. Middle-earth is sometimes misspelled. Names such as Lothlorien, LOTR, and Éowyn are sometimes missing their acute accents. And sloppy mistakes such as the description of Mordor being attributed to Moria remain even in the recent editions of the book, printed many years after the book was first published. You know, when I wrote The Lord of the Films, I felt an obligation to the fans to get these things right the first time. After all, we're talking about a book, not a tweet on Twitter. If you're going to publish something for fans of Tolkien, you should at least get the language right. I also find the way Grata handles his footnotes to be annoying. To Grata's credit, these footnotes contain some interesting supplementary information. But the notes are placed at the end of the book, and so the reader is forced to flip back and forth, literally needing 2 bookmarks to read the biography properly. It would have been better to have incorporated the footnotes into the narrative. And yes, Grata didn't have access to the resources Carpenter did, but why not add some photos of the various places and people who are mentioned so often throughout the book? All this said, Grata, who did a great deal of research for this labor of love, does include some interesting information about the beloved professor that you'll be hard-pressed to find elsewhere, and the overall structure of the book gives you a good idea of the phases of Tolkien's life. However, in good conscience, out of 5 stars, I can only give this book 2 stars. It's a mild disappointment. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time on J.W. Braun's Bookshelf.